Welcome to the Real Facts on Real Estate podcast, presented by Sean Patrick Maloney. In this series, we educate real estate agents on how to find success in the industry and grow their wealth to six-figure commissions and beyond. Now here is your host, Sean Maloney.
Welcome to episode 290, Post-Settlement. Who now pays? The buyer's agent. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me this week. Guys, the NAR settlement is gone. We have already moved forward into the new world. We have to have those agreements signed. We have to have those commissions moved over, and it leaves a lot of people wondering who is it that pays the commission. So today I wanted to run it down a little bit, tell you about the three different parties that can pay it and what you want to watch out for. And remember, guys, I am not your broker. I cannot tell you what your broker will or won't allow you to accept for commissions. I can only tell you what is legal currently and what is allowed and what the paperwork looks like. First off, there are three different types of ways to get paid as a buyer's agent. Any of them can happen, or all of them in combination can happen. The buyer can pay, the seller can pay, or a cobroker can pay. Now let's start with the cobroker. For some reason, this one is kind of under attack right now. Overall, it seems like the government's stance is that they don't really want to see these, but they didn't make a ruling like that. Remember, there is no law. We are trying to navigate from a settlement to try to not get sued ourselves. So it's kind of funny. A lot of people run around saying legal, regulation, all these different things. Those don't exist because it's not that. So overall, the DOJ said they might in the future change this. So some big brokerages took it upon themselves to decide that the NAR forms and everything created was not good enough and they were going to go further. Now, if that's one of your brokerages, well, that's what it is. So you can't accept co-broke commissions. But normally, co-broke commissions, seller or buyer. Now let's talk about seller. Seller direct. So this is where we request commission because it's not listed on the MLS. It's not listed for any co-broking compensation. Now we need to say, hey, we want to get paid. So I am looking for you to pay this much money towards my commissions. And my offering for my clients is subject to that. So in order to accept the offer, you have to accept these commissions, or we need to continue to further negotiate. Some sellers will be willing to pay, some won't. Now that leaves the question, what type of agreement are you in with the buyer? Is the buyer responsible to pay? If the buyer is responsible to pay, can they financially pay? There's a lot of variables we need to look at now that sometimes, or I shouldn't say now that sometimes, right? Because guys, buyers have been paying forever, but now more often than it used to happen, buyers may be paying. And what that means is we're going to have to ask the mortgage professional because remember, cash flow is everything. How much cash on hand does the person need to have to buy a home? Are they allowed to go ahead and spend more of that, what might be seen as their reserves, into commissions? So that's why early in the game we need to talk with the mortgage broker and make a plan. Do we need to look for seller or cooperating compensation in order to get compensated because the person's struggling to make 3.5% down and have the closing costs and prepaids? Or are they able to pay and able to strengthen their offer because they're not looking for any compensation from the seller side, therefore making the seller's side net sheet go up? Remember guys, commission is now the new appraisal. It's now the new home inspection. It's one more way for a buyer to sharpen the pencil, to narrow down the amount of buyers and to offer a better offering without adding to the sale price. Yes, it adds to the net. Because remember, if you ask the seller for commission, say you ask them for $20K, you're giving them $400K, they're only getting $380, right? So if we get rid of those commissions, their net naturally goes up, which is very similar to offering more money. That's why, in my opinion, we're going to see some agents that are more crafty with their offers continue to whittle away at those different contingencies, removing the contingency for pay and having their clients pay it. Some brokerages, this is going to be easy to do. Other brokerages, it's not going to be easy to do. Depends on the types of clients you've been attracting, who have you been working with. Guys, it's really going to come down to you need to correctly vet, navigate, and convey the messages to do a commission, because otherwise you're going to have really weird situations. Because nothing worse, right, than finding success, having gone into a contract, getting all the way to the closing table, and hearing from your buyer, hey, I don't have that money. What money? Why do I owe you money? After you found great success, put in tons of effort, did everything you could to land them in a house, and now they don't want to pay you. That's why, guys, clarity, 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 above the board. Tell everybody about it. Make sure they understand who's going to pay. Make sure they understand you're going to request from the seller first, but they're not necessarily forced to pay, so they might not pay. And understand, can we buy houses without that, or do all of our offers have to be contingent upon the commission? Guys, it's a new era. There's lots of changes. If you're not working with a brokerage that's constantly on top of these changes, you really need to think about a new place. You can reach out to me. I own a brokerage, Momentum Realty. I'd be happy to talk to you about working in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for listening to today's show. Check us out on the web, realfactsandrealestate.com, as well as on Facebook group under Real Facts. Get involved in the conversations and continue to grow as an agent. I'm proud of all of you, and I look forward to talking to you next week.